Welcome back. Cosette here to guide you through another mobility flow. Today I will be focusing on rotational strength throughout the body, from the head down all the way to the feet. And I want to just help you better understand the natural spiraling motions that happen in the body and what allows you to twist what you need to twist. And rotation is important for moving through life, for being aware of your surroundings. So hopefully after this class you can feel a little more mobile, especially through the spine. And just remember that you want to always keep room for the breath. Okay, sometimes twisting will kind of shorten the spine, making it slightly harder to breathe. So you could always come out of the twist. You could try to make space somehow, and I'll try to offer options. It might be helpful to have a yoga block at your side. If you don't have a block, you could use a thick book or even a very sturdy water bottle. Okay, props are always great. Okay, so let's just begin. Today is seated. Okay, sitting cross-legged, ankles or shins crossed. Try to ground your sit bones beneath you. You could always elevate the hips by sitting on a block or a blanket. Palms up or down on the knees, lifting through the spine. Okay, rest the shoulders. The eyes open or closed. Keeping the chin level. Allow yourself to slow down, to find some quiet. And keeping your lips sealed, breathe through the nose. And as you breathe, can the collarbones stay level? Breathe down into the abdomen, into each part of the lungs, creating a three-dimensional expansion. Okay, your steady cadence of breath could be your meditation, a tool to remain present, to be here for yourself. Just a few more cycles. Now open your eyes, gazing forward. Okay, we'll begin with a little movement through the neck. Okay, bring your chin down towards your chest and turn your chin towards the right shoulder. We'll create a circle leading with the chin. So bring it up slowly, lean your head back, you could gaze up, take your chin across to the left shoulder, down to the chest. Okay, again, turning your chin to the right. Try not to turn the shoulders. Bring the chin up. You might lean the head back a little more. Chin smoothly goes across to the left and down. And switch directions, turning your chin to the left, bringing it up. So already practicing some rotation through the neck. Okay, make these circles here, leading with the chin. Take one more in this direction. And then when your chin meets your chest, look forward. And remember which ankle you have in front right now. Uncross your legs, give them a light shake. And then recross your legs, the opposite ankle now in front. Okay, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. just do this a few times, this direction, and then shoulders up, forward, and down. Okay, shoulders away from the ears. Interlace fingers in front of you, keeping palms and maybe forearms touching. Roll the wrists. Okay, just gently creating the spiral through the joint and go the opposite way too. Okay, and then just give hands a little shake. Resting the hands just outside your hips. Okay, take the right arm up, then adding a slight bend to the left. And keep your right hip rooted to the mat. Feel your right side stretching. Right shoulder could shrug up with the arm. Your right waist helps pull you back to center. Right hand down, left arm up, and take a little bend to the right. And keeping your left hip grounded this time. Left shoulder could shrug up or move a bit with your arm. Left waist helps pull you to center, left arm down. Okay, next, take the arms forward about shoulder level. Palms could face in. And you're gonna reach your right arm back. So allow the upper body to turn to the right. Then send your left or your right arm up to the ceiling and forward to where you started. And now left arm reaches back, allowing you to twist. Take the left arm up to the ceiling and forward. Again, right arm back, reach past fingertips, right arm sweeps up and forward. Then left arm back, up and smoothly forward. Okay, arms down. Lean back on your hands and step your feet in front of you, at least hip width apart. Take the knees a little side to side like windshield wipers. You could really roll to outer hips. Knees might touch the mat. Okay, moving into tabletop, all fours. You could cross the shins or take your legs to one side. Okay, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Okay, spread the fingers apart. Grip fingertips a little and root your base knuckles, okay, especially when weight is on the hands. Okay, now moving with the breath. On your next inhale, go to cow. Tailbone lifts, belly lowers. Then cat. On your exhale, rounding the back. Inhale to cow. Okay, try to start from the pelvis, tipping forward. Cat. On your exhale, pelvis tips back. And continue to smoothly move through cow and cat at a steady pace. Try to move at 1 mile per hour. Do your best to segment the spine. And go through the lower, middle, and upper parts. Okay, feel how the breath moves your body. Okay, another cycle. And then come to neutral. And we'll keep the hips over knees, low belly lifted. Okay, for melting heart or puppy dog, walk the hands forward a couple steps. Let your head lower down. Your head might touch the mat. Let's remain active and engage here. So we're not just resting. Press through the palms, elbows lifted, arms straighter. Front ribs knit up and in towards the back. Just stabilize while you stretch through the shoulders and chest. Feel the breath creating space. Okay, another cycle. Okay, lifting your head, carefully walk your hands back to tabletop. Okay, restacking joints, fingertips grip, base knuckles more rooted, tuck the toes under. Okay, hover your knees a few inches off the mat for bear pose. Okay, shoulder blades broadening apart. Knees down gently. Again, we'll hover the knees a few inches for bear pose. Look ahead of fingertips. Neck is active. Knees down. Keep the core intact. Once more for bear. Knees float. One more breath. Start to lift hips and walk your hands back to your feet. Okay, feet about hip width apart. Knees can bend. Halfway lift. Okay, chest forward, elongate the torso. Maybe pushing palms against shins. Okay, lengthen the back. Okay, fold forward. Hands touch the mat. Knees could stay bent. Take another halfway lift. From here, with your midsection strong, keep your torso where it is and reach arms wide like a T to 3 and 9 o'clock. Palms can face down. Okay. Slowly rise to standing, circling arms above your head. Hands to your heart. Okay, arms down by your sides. Okay, all right, for mountain pose, we'll keep feet hip width apart. Okay, and parallel to each other. Okay, ground the corners of your feet. Gather strength from the mat, pushing into it. Okay, can you stand a little taller? Sense the curves of your spine. You want to maintain its natural curvature. Okay, another full breath through the nose. Okay, on your next cycle, arms reach up. Folding forward, hinge at the hips, bend your knees on the way down. Half lift, chest forward. Now walk the hands forward to a high plank. Okay, let's create a solid plank here, shoulders over wrists. Look ahead of fingers. Arms straight, broadening shoulder blades apart. Firm the thighs. Okay, if you need a supported version of high plank, you can set the knees down. Okay. One more breath where you are. Okay, now looking and leaning forward on toes or knees. Lower yourself slowly to your stomach. Okay, untuck the toes. Okay, arms forward. Arms about shoulder width apart, maybe wider. Okay, looking down so the neck is smooth. Lift left arm and right leg. Opposite arm and leg. You could raise your chest lightly, reach past fingers and toes, front of the hips on the mat. Okay, gently release. And then right arm and left leg lift. Hips level, go for length more than height. Engaging opposing muscles in the back. Then release. Okay, now combining it all, lift everything. Don't push too hard. Okay, arms sweep back like wings. One more breath. Lower down. Okay, placing hands outside your ribs, push back to child's pose. Okay, big toes together, knees at a comfortable width, resting your head. Hands forward away from hips. Okay, tabletop next. Okay, stacking joints. Make sure index fingers point either straight forward or slightly out. Tucking toes under. Downward facing dog. Raise the hips. Okay, you want to keep hands pressing down and forward. Gather strength from the mat. Allowing arms and torso to lengthen. Legs don't need to be straight. Okay, you can always widen or lengthen your foundation. Okay, knitting front ribs up and in. Okay, give yourself another lengthening inhale. In, grounding exhale. Rise up on the toes, bend your knees. You take many steps to the front of your mat. Feet could be either together or hip width apart. Half lift, long back. Fold. Rise to standing, pushing through the feet, arms overhead, and hands to your heart. Okay, again, arms up, take up space. Folding forward, lead with the chest. Halfway lift. High plank, planting hands, step back. Okay, on toes or knees, look and lean forward. In slow motion, lower all the way down. Untucking toes, tops of your feet heavily pushing into the mat. Low cobra, lift the chest. Okay, keep the hands light, maybe weightless, and lower the chest down. And again, low cobra, lifting the chest. Okay, we're gonna hover the hands. Place hands under your elbows. Arms stay close to the body. Okay, stay here, or if you're ready for more, press your hands down to lift the chest higher. Okay, moving into high cobra, okay, maybe upward facing dog, thighs can float. Shoulders don't shrug. Downward facing dog, okay, raise hips. Another slow breath in. No rush, slower breath out. Okay, rise up on the toes, bend your knees, step or walk to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, and fold. Rise to standing, pressing through the legs, arms reach to the sky. Close it out, hands to heart. Okay, arms up. Folding forward, lead with the chest. Halfway lift. High plank, planting hands. Okay, keep the core intact on toes or knees. Look and lean forward. Smoothly lower halfway, maybe all the way. Try a push-up. Up dog or cobra follows. To downward facing dog. Okay, really clear the lungs. Give yourself another full round of breath. Okay, find a pace that doesn't feel rushed, that allows you to be in every pose, and finish every cycle of breath. Okay, now rise up on toes. Bend your knees, step or walk to the top. Halfway lift. Okay, folding forward. Okay, coming into chair pose, bend your knees, arms up by the ears. Okay, we'll settle into chair, just a few moments. Root into heels. Okay, like downward dog. Okay, can you keep front ribs in? Just do your best. Arms straighter by the ears. Shoulders could move up a little with the arms. Okay, one more breath. Now fold, hands to the mat. Halfway lift. Okay, tabletop, all fours. Okay, from your tabletop, okay, just notice where your pelvis is. Feel how it's level, pretty neutral. Keep the low core intact. Okay, without changing the pelvis, okay, or the torso really, you're gonna reach right arm to your right. Okay, so your right arm is out to about shoulder level, palm facing down. Push through your left hand actively. Bring right hand behind your head. Okay, now without turning the pelvis, can you rotate your chest a little to the right? Try to raise right elbow. Then take your right elbow across to the left. Okay, then again, from the mid-spine up to the right. Then take your right elbow to the left elbow. One more time, little rotation to the right. Hips do not turn. Take your right elbow across. Return to where you started. And with shoulders level, then tabletop, right hand down. Okay, take a pause. And I'll keep mirroring you. Left arm to the left, palm facing down. Push through right hand, left hand behind your head. Okay, without turning the hips, can you rotate your chest a little to the left? Then left elbow across to the right elbow. Okay, twist, open to the left. Then take your elbow across. One more time, no rush. Opening left, then right or left elbow to the right. Return to where you started, shoulders level. Left hand down, a pause in tabletop. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Okay, raising the hips. And make any little adjustments you need with the hands or feet. Okay, keep hands pushing forward. Right leg back and up. Three-legged dog. Right knee towards your nose. Step right foot forward, closer to the right hand. Staying on the ball of your left foot, both feet face forward. Hover your fingertips off the mat for a moment. Make sure you're using both legs. Okay, midsection strong too. Crescent lunge, rise up. Okay, arms up by the ears. Okay, be sure to push through the entire right foot. Okay, you're not just stepping on a gas pedal. Left heel stays elevated. If lower back feels shortened a lot or really compressed, you could bend your left knee, okay, allowing you to bring the tailbone a bit down, low belly toned. Okay, adding a vertical twist to the right. Left arm forward, right arm back. Option for exalted warrior, sending your left arm to the sky. Right hand to your back thigh or sacrum. Steady gaze. Okay, you could look up for more challenge. Okay, we'll return to crescent, untwist, hands to the mat. Okay, now lower your left knee down under your left hip. Okay, we'll try a supported side plank. Okay, I'll add options to add on. Left hand stays under your left shoulder, right foot stepping back. So you have these 3 points of contact with the floor, push into them, right arm to the sky. Let's start here, okay, simpler. Close the front ribs or core, neck is active. Now can you raise your right leg? Good. Strong through your side body, keeping right leg hip height. Can you bring that leg forward towards the wall you're facing and make a 90-degree angle at your right hip? Good. Return right leg towards the back wall. You'll revisit the shape later today. Lower your right foot, right hand down. Good. Tuck your left toes under, three-legged dog, right leg back, and downward facing dog. Okay, a moment to reset. Left leg back. Left knee to your nose. Step it forward. Okay, so the whole left foot's planted. You're on the ball of the right foot. Float fingertips off the mat. Okay, recruit more of your midsection. Keep power in the legs and rise to crescent lunge. Arms up to the ceiling. Okay, get a sense of your lower back. Maybe it feels fine. If you need more length, soften the back knee. Okay, without changing your lower half, Add your vertical twist to the left. Reach past fingers. Option for exalted warrior. Right arm up, left hand to back thigh or sacrum. Steady eyes, maybe looking down to the wall or the ceiling. Okay, unwind to crescent. Take your time. Hands to the ground. Setting right knee down. Okay, setting up your supported side plank. Right knee is under right hip, right hand under the shoulder, left foot steps back. You could reach left arm up to the ceiling. A wide wingspan. Stay rooted through whatever's in contact with the mat. Can you raise your left leg? Keep it in the air, energy through the heel. Then move your left leg forward towards the wall you're facing. Yes, outer hips wake up. Still balancing, return your left leg towards the back wall. Left foot down, left hand down. You could level the hips, tuck your right toes under. Three-legged dog, left leg high again. Okay, downward facing dog. Next breath, come up high on the toes. Bend your knees, step or walk to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Rise to standing, push through the legs, arms reach above your head. Close, hands to heart. Arms by your sides. Taking a pause in mountain pose. Good. Just enough effort to be tall. Okay, moving into another chair. Bend your knees. Arms up by the ears. Settle in, low core, toned. You bring hands to heart center. Sitting in your chair still. Begin to twist your chest to the right. Okay, and then can you just hover your left elbow off of the right knee? Don't rest your arm on the leg, don't hook your elbow around the knee. Try to hover. Okay, holding a rotation with strength. Do your best to keep hands at the center of the chest. Make sure breath can move. Now put more weight into your right foot. Okay, so right foot grounded. Lift your left heel, maybe the whole left foot to balance on one leg while you twist. Okay, it's going to be a little shifty and wobbly. And without changing your upper body, step your left foot back to a twisted high lunge. Good. Then smoothly, midsection strong. Okay, untwist to crescent. And a pause here. Okay, hands to the mat. Okay, stepping back to a high plank. Lower all the way down to your stomach. Untuck your toes. Arms back by your sides. Okay, palms facing up. Lift everything for locust. Okay, now point fingers down so palms face back. Bending elbows, hands outside the ribs. Tops of your feet to the ground. Stay or go to upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Okay, another full breath. Okay, rise up on the toes, bend your knees, stepping or walking to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold forward. You're right into another chair. Knees bend, heavy heels, hips back, arms up. And Line of energy from hips to hands. Okay. Keep the depth of your chair, hands to heart. Okay. Easy shoulders. Try a twist now to the left. Okay. More rotation from the waist up. Okay. This time we're floating right elbow off of left knee. Try not to use the arm on the leg for leverage. Okay. You have a lot of inner strength. Stay in your twist. Put more weight into your left foot. Lifting right heel. Maybe the whole right foot to balance on one leg. Okay, still twisting. Step right foot back. Land on the ball of the right foot. You're in a twisted lunge. Okay, with control, unwind, crescent. Okay, stay conscious of breath. Okay, hands to the ground. High plank. Okay, as we did a moment ago, look and lean forward, lower all the way to the stomach. Untuck toes, pointing feet, arms back, palms face up, everything lifts. And maybe palms closer to the ceiling. Maybe legs closer to each other. Point fingers down and palms back. Bending elbows, hands outside the ribs. Feet to the mat. Stay or go to upward facing dog. Okay, downward facing dog. And create balance here, find some ease. Stay strong where you need to be strong. And then rising up on the toes. Bend your knees, step or walk forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Come up to standing, pushing through the legs, arms overhead, hands to heart. Okay, arms by your sides. Okay, we're working on a little more, or a lot more one-legged balancing. Just shift weight into your right foot. Hands can be on the hips. We'll actually use hands for feedback. So with weight on the right foot, you're going to bend your left knee about 90 degrees and have knees together. Okay, you can flex left toes. Okay, feel how the pelvis is just like a level bowl right now. Keep it neutral. Without letting that bowl or the pelvis tip forward too much, can you raise your left thigh behind you? You're extending the left hip, engaging the hamstring, okay, not tipping the torso forward just yet. And you raise your thigh behind you a little at a time, just a millimeter at a time. You could feel with the hands if the hips are tipping. Okay, another breath here. Good. Keep trying to move left thigh behind you and tip the torso forward. We'll move into warrior three. Lengthening left leg back, hamstring strong, arms could reach back like wings. Okay, working towards being parallel with the ground, but it's not required. Okay, one more breath. Okay, gently bend right knee, step back to crescent. Good. Last time in crescent on this side, arms up. Warrior two, left heel spins down. Okay, arms could be about shoulder level. Okay, we'll squeeze outer hip muscles. Okay, try not to let right knee just fall in passively. Okay, you could let your pelvis turn a bit towards the right leg. Reach forward, extended side angle. You could bend right arm, bring it to the leg, left arm up or overhead, your preference. Here, trying some rotation, upwards through the chest. Spin the heart upwards. Yes. Try to take some weight off the bottom arm. One more breath. Okay, warrior two. Okay, take hands to the mat. Spinning left heel up, step back to a high plank. Okay, now lower to elbows, forearm plank. Okay, from your forearm plank, keep shoulder blades moving apart, push through arms. Just take another breath. Gently lower knees, then hips for Sphinx. Untuck toes, lift the chest. Arms still pressing down. Okay, try to raise the belly button, tone the low core. And lowering the chest, hands back outside the ribs. Cobra or upward facing dog. Choose another back bend. Okay, meeting in downward facing dog. Okay, take some load off the hands by pressing them forward, encouraging the chest back. Okay, while hugging ribs in. Okay, now rise up on the toes. Bend knees, step or walk forward. Halfway lift. And fold. Rise up to standing, push through the legs, arms reach above your head. We'll close hands to heart. Okay, I'll pause with arms down. Mountain pose. Okay, checking out balance now on the other side. Weight to your left foot, hands could be on hips. Right knee bends about 90 degrees, and we want to start with thighs in line with each other. Okay, your right hamstring is already working to bend the knee, but to engage it even more, make it stronger, try to raise your right thigh back behind you. Okay. A slight tilt forward is okay in the pelvis, just do your best not to tip too much forward. Okay. Keep raising your thigh behind you, maybe another millimeter. Okay, it's like a less impressive looking dancer pose, okay, but engaging similar muscles. Okay, now we'll let the torso reach forward, and we'll tip at the pelvis, hinge at the left hip, and expand into warrior three. Okay, right leg back, arms could be wings. Okay, maybe you could level the hips more. One more breath, supporting leg strong but adaptive. And gently bending your left knee, gracefully step back to crescent lunge. Arms overhead. And arrive in your crescent. Warrior two. Your right heel spins down. Both feet pushing. Okay. Outer hips strong. Think of just squeezing outer hip stuff. Okay. If you need to turn your pelvis a little towards the left leg, that's cool. Feel how everything's connected. And then reach upper body forward, extended side angle. Left arm is very light if it's on the thigh. Right arm up or overhead. Your neck is smooth and it's an extension of your torso. Your torso is an extension of your right leg. Try to take some weight off the left arm. Heart spins up. Good. Keep obliques recruited. Warrior two. Okay, hands windmill down. Right heel spins up. Find your high plank. Okay, on toes or knees, lower to elbows, forearm plank. Pressing down the arms, shoulder blades broaden apart. Think tailbone to heels. Okay, you could do this with straight legs or knees down. Okay, another breath. Knees and hips to the mat. One more Sphinx, untucking toes. And feel the abdominals lengthen as you lift the chest. Energetically pull elbows back, heart forward. Chest lowers down. Slide hands back by the ribs. Cobra or up dog, another back bend of your choice, to downward facing dog. Steady nostril breathing, steady eyes. Come up high on toes, bend your knees, stepping or walking to the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. And come up to stand. Push through your legs, arms overhead. Close, hands at heart. Okay, hands rest at your sides. Okay. And then just take a quarter turn to the right or the left, whatever side allows you to hear or see me better. And take a wide stance, okay? 2 to 3 feet between the feet. Toes in front of heels, so feet are parallel. Hands on hips. Okay? Leading with your chest, begin to hinge forward and fold, separate leg stretch. Knees might bend on the way. Place hands on your mat for a grip. Okay, let's try to lengthen the torso, reaching your chest away from your belly button. Shoulders back, look ahead of hands. Okay, where you look affects your spine. You could fold deeper, bending elbows gradually back. Okay, maybe just stay where you are if that allows you to maintain length in the torso. Try to firm your thighs, keep weight forward in the feet. Make sure your base is strong. Okay, another breath. On fingertips, take a halfway lift. Hands to your hips. Slowly rise to standing. Use your legs and enjoy a pause at the top. Okay. Turning your right foot out. Okay. You're going to square your hips more towards or in the direction that your right foot is pointing. Okay, so you need to angle left foot forward as well. Now make sure your feet are not crossing. You have hands on hips to help you align both sides of the hips. Okay, also make sure there's space, more space, yes, side to side. Okay, grounding your left heel. You're going to reach left arm up by the left ear. Right hand stays on the hip for now. Now reach the upper body forward. Okay, then you're going to take your left hand down, maybe onto the mat inside your right foot. Okay, if you have a block, you might want to place your left hand on the block, just elevate the ground. Chest forward still. Okay, then begin to twist, turning this into a revolved triangle. Okay, right hand could stay on the hip, right hand could reach up. Okay, breathing here. Okay, if you want to add on to your revolved triangle, you might want to try revolved half moon. Okay, bend your right knee a little bit. You could slide that block or left hand forward, raise the left leg. Still twisting, chest to the right. One more breath where you are. Okay, if you're in revolved half moon, can you softly return left foot to the mat? Legs lengthen. Reach your left arm forward. You can gaze down. Belly strong and rise up to standing. Okay. Left hand to hip. Take a pause here. Okay, then just turn 180 degrees to get to the other side. So turn to your left, keep turning. Left toes point forward. You can angle your right foot forward as well. Make sure your feet are not crossing. You might want to have your block within reach. Okay. Tap your left hip back. Okay, now the right arm reaches up by your ear. Okay. Hinge forward at the hips. Right hand could be inside the left foot. Maybe your hand is higher on the block. Feel how elevating the chest helps you lengthen the torso. Okay, adding a twist to the left. Good. Okay, stay here. Maybe left arm reaches to the ceiling. You could also just keep your hand on your hip. Option for revolved half moon. Okay, still in the twist, use a little strength. You could slide your right hand forward. Maybe bend to left knee. Raise right leg behind you. Okay, adding that rotation, balancing on one leg. Be present. There's enough to think about right here. One more cycle of breath. If you're in revolved half moon, lower right foot to the mat. Okay. Gazing down, right arm forward. Come up to standing with control. Right arm down, both arms can rest. Okay, pause where you are. Okay, then just bring your feet together. Okay, stepping right foot forward. Awesome. Now we'll just face the front, whatever the front of the mat is for you. Mountain pose. Okay, next breath, arms circle up. Folding forward, hinge at the hips. Bend your knees on the way. Half lift, long back. Okay, come into a ball squat. You could bring hands down, bend your knees a lot. Hips towards heels, round forehead towards knees. Make yourself compact, round like a ball. Okay, looking forward, just one more balanced toe stand. Okay, we're gonna lift the chest, thighs become more parallel to the mat. Try to take hands to heart. Okay, another breath here. Good, hands to the mat. Can you bring your knees to the mat, untuck toes, and sit on the heels? So now you're kneeling. Okay, if you need to place a block under your hips to elevate them, that's cool. Let's stretch the wrists a little, arms wide like a T, palms face down. Fingers spread apart, point fingertips up, palms away from you. Push the two side walls away. Try to pull fingertips back towards yourself. Palms face down. Now make fists and curl your knuckles down and in. Feeling this now on the top of the arm and wrist. Okay, reach fingers out away from you, rest your arms. Good. Okay, roll the shoulders a bit, shake out the hands. Okay, take your hips to one side, legs forward. Okay, so to balance out all of the external rotation that we do in the hips, we will do some internal rotation. Okay, we all need a little bit of that, especially to have more balanced movement and even walking in general. So turn to your right, and we're gonna align right leg in front of you, left leg will be to your left. Okay, you wanna make two 90-degree angles at your knees, two L shapes. If you feel your right hip bone and draw a straight line forward, there's your right knee. From left hip bone to the left is left knee. Okay, for this you could also raise hips and sit on a block. Okay, start here first to let the legs and hips acclimate to the position. Okay, if you do get a cramp in your hip at any point, you could always take a break. But the stronger your muscles get, the more used to an action they get, the less cramps you should have. Okay, so from here, keeping your right leg firmly grounded. Okay, also keeping left knee glued to the mat. Can you raise your left ankle off the floor, just straight up? Try not to lose the 90-degree angle at the knee. Lower the foot down. Okay, it's okay if the muscle kind of seizes up. Okay, contract, deepen, this hip strength here, and lift your left ankle again. Lower it down. Okay, imagine the rotation coming from way up here in the thigh. One more time, lift your left ankle. Holding, breathing. Left ankle down. You try to pause where you are. Don't move out of the position just yet. Allow the hips to soften. All right, to get to the other side, turn your chest to the left. Okay, lean back on your hands, point your knees up to the ceiling. Try to move the knees farther from each other. Then swivel knees to the left. And you're on the other side, pretty much ready. You might still need to adjust things. You could feel your left hip bone. Straight line forward is your left knee. Right hip bone to the right is right knee. Okay, acclimating first. Breathing through the nose. Left leg and right knee stay firmly rooted to the mat. Can you lift right ankle? Lower it down. Again, raising right ankle. Okay, visualize the rotation really coming from up here in the hip. Lower your ankle down. Okay, pause if you need. Once more, lifting right ankle. Deep hip stuff works. One more breath. Release. Pause, soften where you are. Hopefully waking up some new muscles. Okay, now turning your chest to the right. Lean back on hands, point your knees up. Try to move your knees farther from each other. Okay, then can you lift your left foot, bend the knee more, bring the foot in front of you, and then right foot meets the left. We're getting ready for bound angle or cobbler's pose. Soles of the feet touch. Hold ankles or feet. Okay, leading with your chest, begin to fold forward. Now keeping legs in more of an external position, rotation. Can you recruit outer hips to pull the knees closer to the ground rather than pushing legs down with the arms? Okay, sitting up, hands to outer knees, legs come together, lower onto your back. Okay, working on a bridge pose. Knees stay bent, feet planted about hip width apart, arms are by your sides. Keeping feet parallel, press them down, raise the pelvis. Okay, strong behind the thighs here. Squeeze glute muscles too. Okay, squeeze an invisible block between your knees. Okay, so they stay neutral, pointing forward. Squeeze the block. Glutes still engaged. You can push a little through the upper back as well. Try to lift another millimeter. In slow motion, lower the spine and hips to the mat. Okay, bring knees towards your chest, give legs a squeeze, rock a little bit side to side. Okay, happy baby. Holding on to outer feet. If you need a lower grip, try ankles or shins, knees wide. Okay, pressing lower back towards the mat. You could try to pull knees down, sway, okay, or stay still. And settling down for your final resting pose. Okay, legs forward. Okay, arms by your sides. Okay, take time to get comfortable. You could always reposition. Okay, maybe you like legs up the wall. And as you release your weight into the mat, and try to relax more and let the ground hold you. And can you give yourself at least a couple of minutes here? Use this time to reset, to rebalance the body. We did plenty of twisting. And just ease into this soft, symmetrical pose. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, please let me know if you have any feedback, any questions. I hope to see you again soon. And from my heart to yours, with gratitude, namaste.